Well, I don't mean a ritual in a bad way. I just think, routine, ritual, robotic, it can be, that's when it starts to be kind of a head in
I
your
had,
head, knowledgeable relationship more than it is
right.
a spiritual in your heart. And so
I
sometimes
will
I
say,
got to be careful of that. So when I read that in ways of, I wouldn't say it's necessarily adding, but I would say it's subtracting in some way sometimes. So just
right.
maybe it's just me. All right. There are countless additions. That's what makes Colossians so relevant to us today. When we spend our time adding tasks to the gospel, it causes Jesus to lose his authority. He is really the end all be all. He is all we need. By turning Christianity into a religion, what type of things do you miss out on? Intimacy with Jesus, powerful time in prayer, the Spirit moving in your life. It's like I just kind of touched on that.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think that's the whole thing is religion becomes robotic.
Yeah.
It becomes one dimensional because and that was exactly the reason Jesus rebuked the Pharisees and Sadducees because they were so robotic and one dimensional they could only see that way. They couldn't see the Lord moving outside the box. They couldn't understand why a prostitute was using her hair to wash his feet because religion says that you beneath me, you can't touch me. They couldn't understand, why the woman with the issue of blood, why he let this woman touch him, or all the other things that Jesus did, because it again was religious and it was robotic and everything. And religion has to deal with rules, you know. And so yeah, that's the thing that I think that's one of the things we rob ourselves. I think the biggest thing today with religion is we rob ourselves of the ability to really see God move in a special way in people's lives who really need it, because we can't really see they hurt because all we see is the religious aspect of what's acceptable and what's not acceptable, things that are again defined by our view of our religious experience. I don't
I think
know.
religion is kind of like following, it's like trying to follow the law, the moral law, trying to keep the Ten Commandments. You know what I
Right.
mean? So that so that is religion, is what it does. Is religion is man is seeking God. And when you because you can't, no one can keep the law. It's impossible. If Jesus said, if you break one of my commandments, you've broken them all. And then especially when it comes to like the first three, God wants you to love him with all your mind, body, and soul.